All right, everybody, we're back. Niners just beat the Seahawks a couple days ago, and we got the Saints coming up. It's the Mac Jones show after this.
So I got to get you some of the new pictures from last weekend.
Yeah, you do. I'll have to work on updating our intro there. Maybe send me one of you and Sarah too, Jason, from the game.
Okay.
Well, we have to make sure to take some together next weekend too. I'm sure we'll all be in Niner gear and all
Yeah.
together. So,
Oh yeah, for Jason's birthday. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Cardinals week.
Well, speaking of going to the game, Jason, how was it?
It was awesome. We got there like a good hour early, got to walk around. I don't think it was majority Niners, and I can say that as someone who was there. I think once you get like when you're just like looking at the crowd, the red really shows out. But like when I was like intermingling and walking around and stuff, it was still majority Seahawk fan, but there was a ton of Niner fans, and you could hear them cheer regardless of what team made the play. It was just the Seahawks were like way louder. But like when there was big plays, the fumble, obviously like the Bosa strip, like the stadium erupted, just not as loud as when the Seahawks made plays. But it was sick. I mean, the perfect game to go to is super stressful. We got standing room seats because I'm still dealing with like the bulge disc. I'm not supposed to sit for long periods of time. So we got standing room, which was actually kind of cool. We kind of just stood there, kind of like walked around a little bit. And it was stressful. A lot of Seahawk fans were talking a lot of crap sitting near me, and they left very sad.
Anything hostile or just your
No.
usual go Seahawks Niners?
I have a funny story, actually, kind of funny. Do you remember that play to Jackson Smith-Njigba where it looked like he made like that sick, like he mossed? I don't know if it was Lenore or what, and then it popped out at the last second.
That was green.
It was Renardo, and he made a great play to get it out.
Yeah. It's funny. Or go ahead.
It was a better play by him than it was by Smith and Jigba because he had the catch, but he ripped it.
That was a great play, yeah.
It's funny when you're in person watching, because I've just watched the highlights back. I haven't watched like the full game back. And like what you see and what's like easier to focus on and what's harder to focus on. Like I thought the offensive line played great, but then apparently they graded out really poorly. But anyways, the story I wanted to tell was he originally made that catch, and there was like this, I don't know, they're like young 20s sitting like a few rows like ahead of us. And one, I was going back and forth with one of them all game, and he got up and was like, "Let's go!" and started celebrating. And I was like, I literally just like pointed. He turned around and saw like the ball had squirted out, and he was like, I was like, he didn't catch it. And then I talked a lot of shit when Bosa got that sack. I was like, that's our back. I was like, that was our backup quarterback a couple years ago. Don't forget that, buddy. It was good fun.
Good.
Yeah, that's fun. I like going to Seahawks games in Seattle because they'll talk a lot of junk, but they can also take it. No one's going to like punch your eye out or anything. Like there's not going to be any fights or violence. It's not like Niners, Raiders, or something crazy like that. It's I feel like two, for the most part, respectful fan bases who can talk a lot of crap but still have a good time.
I have two more really quick stories, actually. Walking into the arena, there was a very drunk 49ers fan screaming at the top of his lungs, F the Seahawks. Like, literally going up to in people's faces and saying, F the Seahawks, F the Seahawks. I was like, dude, you are giving us a bad rap right now. So that was like honestly the only bad fan interaction, and it was a Niner fan, unfortunately. And then
That's bound to happen, unfortunately.
Yeah. There was actually a really sweet moment, like towards the end of the game. There was this really old guy who was kind of like near our section, and like literally after the game, as like he was walking out, he was like shaking hands with Niner fans, being like, great game, and like literally shaking, like he was being so like sweet and sincere. I was like, dang, respect.
Yeah, that guy's way too old to be trying to start shit. He's just like, I'm here to watch a football game. He probably doesn't really care who wins.
It was a great game, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I said going in that I think the Seahawks are the real deal, right? Like
I agree.
expecting them to be a big challenge. I was nervous about it. Honestly, I mean, I know we're going to get into other stuff here in a little bit, but I feel like that's their toughest game of the first like 4 or 5.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I mean we're gonna find out because the team's been dramatically altered since that
Sure,
week one.
sure. But
But yeah, going into it, yeah, the Seahawks are tough. I mean they're gonna have a top 5 to top 7 or 8 defense by the end of the year.
Yeah, for sure.
although apparently Seahawks fans are turning on Reek Woolen, or at least some of them are.
Why?
He got cooked over and over and over in that
Oh.
game.
Those are
Juwan was beating him. Tong just beat him. Pearsall beat him.
Yeah.
Those
He
are
got
the types
cooked.
of things that are like hard for me to notice. Like I was trying to figure out, like, I was like, where's CJ West? Where's like the rookies? And it's just hard to tell. I was pretty high up in the stands, so I kind of missed some of that
I
stuff.
saw, and of course I don't have it in front of me, but it was on X, and it was like talking about, I think Reek Woolen gave up a perfect passer rating in the game.
No.
So, like, every time he was targeted, like they caught it. Obviously
Wow.
he's a good player, so maybe he just had a rough game or ended up having bad matchups, whenever he just drew the tough assignment on that particular play. But anyways, yeah, it was something like that about how he is, overrated and all that kind of stuff is what I was seeing.
Diamador Lenore had a clean sheet on the other side.
Really?
0 catches.
And
I
people
thought
are talking smack to him too, because they're like, "Oh, look at how good Jackson Smith and Jigba did," and it's like, "Well, not when he was matched up." And then I saw the flip side of that was, "Well, if you're that good, then why don't you follow him?"
that's so weird because
Diamador Lenore is not the play caller.
Yeah.
I thought I vividly remember a play where he got burned deep. So that must have been someone else then.
Yeah, he only had 3 ball. I think he was credited with 3 targets, 0
Wow.
catches.
Island.
Yeah, I mean, if Diamador, like, this might be the best year of his career if he's going to be playing like that. Like, he could really enter the level of, like, is he with like Fred and Nick as like the 3 best players on our defense who are just a tier, if not 2 tiers above everybody else. I don't know if he's there yet, but he might be.
You guys know what a big fan I am of that guy. I have been. Like, I would love for him to be in that conversation.
I mean, I've heard him say he wants to be recognized as the best corner in the league, which is going to be really tough to do because he's not a really well-known guy. But if he keeps playing like that, he's going to be in the conversation.
Did he get an all-pro?
At least as one of the 5 best.
No, he didn't get all-pro. He's going to have to get some picks, I think, to really get the recognition he wants, unfortunately. But
yeah. It's funny, Jason, you mentioned that you thought the offensive line played great, just from like being there and watching. Brock Purdy was under more pressure in this game than his entire career.
Yeah.
The Niners averaged like 3.2 yards a carry, and Brock got hurt. So they were actually pretty terrible, just like we had predicted going into the season.
Yeah.
It's because of that scrub 71, all the pressures that he gave up.
Who's 71?
Big Trent.
Oh, yeah. He gave up 6 pressures, I believe.
Colton McKivitz had a clean sheet, by the way. We talk about clean sheets.
$15 million
contract
tackle
extension.
right there.
Yep.
Got
Sign
to
him
play
up
free.
before he gets more clean sheets. Yep.
Colton McKivitz in 2023, his first year as a starter was pretty bad. But last year he was solid. I know it's only 1 game this year, but he looked pretty good. I think as time goes on, you gather more new information. You have to kind of change your opinion on what's happening. And I'm wondering if Colton McKivitz has kind of evolved into just being a good player right in front of our eyes.
I think he's just solid.
Like your league average right tackle. Like he might be somewhere between 12 and 18.
But that's fine.
That's a really valuable asset.
Right. I think that's all they need him to be, is just a reliable guy that you can count on to get the job done.
I'm still not convinced. I got to see more.
Fair enough. I mean, they're only paying him. They are paying him more now, so with that comes expectations. But they're paying him $15 million per year, which is no more than that's what Dre Greenlaw, Hufanga, Jalen Moore, his backup, got that. So he's still not like some premier right tackle paycheck. So, and I wonder if Trent, you mentioned Trent, if we're starting to see the beginning of the end.
So
If we look back on after at the end of this season at this game, it's like, yeah, the signs were right there in week 1.
it will be interesting to see because I think he's also like it could also be rust, right? Like I'm not saying for sure that it is because you're right. He's of the age that you should expect to see a decline. So this might be the beginning of the end, or it might be a guy who didn't get to finish last season. Yeah, he was participating in training camp stuff, but hasn't seen any live action for almost a year or however long it's been. So who knows? I hope that it's more the rust thing, but yeah, it could very well be that he's on the decline, like noticeably.
So go ahead, Jason.
I was gonna say, or no, you go.
Well, I was just gonna say because like Jason, I went back and rewatched the highlights. I haven't rewatched the whole game because we were at my mom's with the big party, and I
Yeah,
barely got to kind of watch the game. I was walking around talking to people, watch one play on this TV and one play on that TV. So after kind of rewatching the highlights, even on some of the big plays, I would notice Trent getting shoved into Brock. Even if he kind of held his ground, or I shouldn't say held his ground because he didn't hold his ground. Even if he got shoved backwards, he was able to keep the defender off of Purdy. But I just hadn't seen him just get like mushed backwards and give up the ground that he did. That being said, there were several run plays that Christian had some good runs where Trent was like mowing guys down. So it's like the run blocking, he's still probably really good. The pass protection, I wonder if he's just hopefully a little rusty. He did also go down in that game and had to go to the blue tent, so he's probably dealing with something. So I don't
yeah,
know. It'll be something to keep an eye on all season long.
for sure. Yeah.
Do we want to pick like rose and thorn, or maybe two roses and a thorn? What are two things that really got you excited, a big arrow up? And then maybe one thing that you left the game being like, dang, I'm disappointed in X player or X coach or unit.
Yeah, I
Sure.
mean, I have a lot of I actually have a lot of positives. As stressful as that game was, like Robert Sala,
Mm-hmm.
his whole unit was just really good, better than I was expecting.
He's the man.
Diamador Lenore, I mentioned, he would get a rose, a clean sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Ricky Pearsall would get another rose from me.
That was going to be mine.
I've
Yeah.
never heard the roses and the thorns before, but that's
Mm-hmm.
good. Yeah, Ricky was really good. Came in clutch at the end.
Mm-hmm.
The thorn would be all rookie defensive linemen.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say Jake Moody. That's why I kind of laughed as you were starting to say it.
No, I kind of forgot about him. He's a Bear now, by the way.
Is
Oh,
he?
The Bears. He's on the Bears practice squad.
Wow. To Chicago.
Interesting that he struggled to kick in the Bay, so he goes to the Windy City and tries luck there.
Mm-hmm.
But he kicked in Michigan. He's from Michigan, so you
He's
can't blame the weather, Jake.
probably taking any job he can get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, the rookie defensive linemen, all of them. Were they even in pads on Sunday? I don't know.
I don't know either. I couldn't read the jerseys from up in the stand, so I didn't know who was making plays. I thought Kalia Davis was like CJ West. I was like, oh, CJ West looking great out there. And then I rewatched some of the game and I was like, CJ West barely played, I think.
Yeah, Kalia Davis did flash a little bit. Michael Williams had 39 snaps and zeros across the board on the stat sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Clean sheet.
Huh? Clean
Said
sheet? That's the wrong kind. And then Alfred Collins, I don't think he played very much, maybe 12 to 15 snaps, I think.
Yeah.
And he got shoved around quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And CJ West, I haven't really seen much about him, but
Mm-hmm.
I also didn't see any TFLs out there or anything, so all those guys need to hopefully improve quickly.
It's kind of weird which rookies got PT. And I know it's just based on like injuries and it's based on like availability, but it's like those were the guys I thought were going to have a huge role and then they like barely played. And then I believe also didn't Nick Martin not really play, the middle linebacker?
He didn't suit up. Yeah, he was healthy scratch.
Yeah, so those were the guys I was expecting to play, but then Stout gets the start, Siegel gets the start. It's like,
Siegel was good.
yeah, and
He's intriguing.
I know I like him a lot. I like him a lot. And then didn't the seventh rounder, the guard, even get some PT because was it Pooney or someone went out for a little bit,
Barch.
or Barge?
Yeah, he's dealing with a knee and an elbow. He might be questionable this weekend. He'll probably tough it out though, because his job's probably on the line if he doesn't play.
Mm-hmm.
I saw some stuff like, after the fact, basically defending the young guys, and I'm sure it's, consider the source. It's other Niner fans or guys that follow.
What did David Lombardi say about the rookie defensive lineman?
It's what we expected. We expected this.
Lombardi has been too busy, dealing with Moody stuff and
getting cooked for his Moody takes. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man.
No, but somebody pointed out a play. You remember that play where Bosa, it was in the first quarter, and Bosa came up the middle on a stunt and Darnold to throw it quick, and they
hammered Darnold.
Yeah, and it might have even been, I don't know if that was the play where they actually did get off the field, or if that was the one where Upton had the, pass interference. But anyway, I feel like it was a good play. I feel like it got the Niners off the field. In any event, somebody pointed out on the film, I don't know if it was Michael or if it was Alfred, but it was one of those guys who was look at, this is the underrated stuff that you don't notice. He basically stopped the guy from getting to Bosa so the stunt could work, and is executed perfectly or whatever. So,
yeah.
And then I know Saleh was highlighting Michael for being real close, which I remember. It's funny. I remember he used to say that about Buckner back in the day. It's Buckner's not getting a lot of sacks, but he is so close. He's right there, So, anyways, I don't know. Obviously, it's game one, bunch of rookies. If you were thinking they were going to come in and be Pro Bowlers right away, then yeah, you're disappointed. But if you, I guess, take it for what it is, it's obviously not time to panic about those guys.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's going to take time. They can be effective and help the defense without filling up the stat sheet. It'd be nice to see a tackle from the guy picked 9th overall. He doesn't have to, have a multi-sack game, but, I don't know. It'd be nice to see him do a little more than just clog up an offensive lineman and free up Bosa. I know that's useful, but Kalia Davis can do that. And I did see someone put a little highlight reel of some of his snaps together, and there were times where he was shoving offensive linemen back, but by the time he got within the vicinity of Darnold, the ball's out, and it's it didn't really amount to anything. There were a couple plays where he got knocked to the ground, and on some short yardage stuff, he would get knocked to the ground, and you can't, as a defensive lineman, you can't do, as a football player, you can't do anything when you're on your knees on the ground. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll just have to keep watching and hope they keep improving and find ways to contribute, even if it's not filling up the stat sheet.
So I didn't really get to say any of my roses yet, and you
said
Saleh, which I think Saleh is the same thing that I was thinking about, just the defense as a whole. I loved what I saw out of the defense. I don't know if the Seahawks are a great offense, a middle of the pack offense, or a bad offense, right? Because it's week one. But it felt like the Niners defense was mostly in control of the game to me. I was not nearly as social as you, Ryan. I just sat and watched the game the whole time. Sorry.
I know. There were so many people that I had to kind of talk to people.
Right. And I felt it just reminded me of Niner defenses of the past. I haven't felt this way about a game for a while, where I felt confident and they can handle. And I didn't go into it thinking that, but just as the game played out, I was like, dude, the Niners D is looking good. It was exactly what I hoped for. The youthful energy and Saleh combination was flying around, making plays, shutting them down, like guys swarming, like multiple hats on a guy when he gets it in the flat. Seemed like they had diagnosed the plays really well. Like it didn't feel like they got fooled, you know. I don't know. I was very pleased and I enjoyed that feeling of security. And then another rose for me was D Winters. I
Oh
felt like
yeah.
I feel like he had a great game and it was fun to see him, flying around and doing what he did. I don't know if that's how he's going to be every game, but I feel like he's flashed that in the past. His thing has always just
Hmm.
been staying on the field. So I
Yeah.
sure hope he can do that. But it was great to see him put a complete game together where he's, an impact player.
And not
The
on the injury report on Monday.
Right, right. Um, the obvious thorns is like, the special team stuff that happened, that we talked about. But if you're looking for a thorn other than that, um, I just want the offense to finish drives. Like
Yeah.
they don't put it in the special teams' hands. It
Yep.
seemed like it seemed like their offense dominated the time of possession and could move up and down the field, and then gets down there to the red zone and or close to the red zone and struggled. And so that was just frustrating because I feel like we dealt with that all of last year, and I
Yeah.
was hoping to see a little bit more out of the offense on that front, especially with McCaffrey back. So yeah, those are my thoughts, I guess. So it's the good and the bad.
Yeah.
The Niners have had offenses where maybe it was 2023 where like they were the best team in football in the red zone when it came to touchdown conversions. But I feel like for the most part in Shanahan's tenure, and shoot, I feel like this predates Shanahan. We're like the Niners kick a lot of field goals when they get inside the 20.
Mm-hmm.
They kick
Yeah.
a lot of. I know in recent years there's been statistics where the Niners lead the league in like field goals under 30 yards. And for
Mm,
reference, an extra point in the NFL is 33 yards.
right.
So they're kicking field goals from like within extra point range. So yeah, I don't know if that's Kyle's offense. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know because it seems like it is a, doesn't matter what personnel they have, who the quarterback is, they struggle to score touchdowns in the red zone, except
Mm-hmm.
for in 2023 where they were like the best in the league at it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, it's Kyle's responsibility as the coach, so you can hang it on him and say it's his offense. But he's also had some of the all-time great offenses of doing it, like that Atlanta offense on that team that went to the Super Bowl. I know that they were awesome at punching it in and scoring touchdowns. Like so he's had both, right? So I don't think it's so much a scheme. Maybe it's a combination of the scheme and personnel in the given year. I don't know, but you're right that it seems like it's feast or famine. Like either it's really, really good at getting the ball in the end zone or it's really not good.
So we need Julio Jones. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, a prime Julio Jones is great on this team.
It would. That was gonna be my thorn as well. Just like a lot of empty yards. The other obvious one to me was just like some of the injuries. Being without Kittle's gonna hurt. It's gonna suck. Being without Purdy's gonna hurt. It's gonna suck. Even seeing Trent and like Fred go down, even though those seemed a little bit more minor. It's like I don't want my absolute all-star players like getting nicked up early and having stuff linger or risking re-injury or anything like that. So I saw more Niners laying down on the field hurt than Seahawks, and so that was a thorn. Some of my roses, the first one's Ricky Pearsall. I mean, holy crap. If he stays healthy, knock on wood, he is going to have a heck of a season. And part of it is because of the opportunities, but he's earned the opportunities. He's ready for the opportunities. I felt like he had a really good game and still there was more out there that was like so close. Like he could add like 150 yards. Like I think he's going to have a heck of a season. And that's the Goose's or Sarah's new favorite player. She's like all in on Ricky Pearsall. She was asking me about him at the game. She's like, was he on the team last year? Because I had to break the news that Deebo Samuel's no longer with the Niners, which was upsetting to her because she likes Deebo. And I was like, well, there you go. You got Ricky Pearsall, zeroing on him. So Ricky was awesome. Trying to think. McCaffrey looked pretty good, which is great. Glad that little calf thing. Hopefully, knock on wood, that doesn't pop back up in a significant way. Glad he was able to get through that play. He was awesome in the receiving game, which they're gonna need with no Kittle. And then Robert Saleh defense clearly like last year, and I feel like the year before, I felt like during certain games against really awesome coaching staffs, I feel like we were getting out coached. I do not feel like we got out coached against the Seahawks. I feel like Robert Saleh especially had it down. I do feel like Kyle called a pretty good game. There's a lot of yards. Obviously, we didn't finish drives. We could have put up a lot more points than we did, but I feel like we out coached them other than special teams. So yeah.
So it's funny you talked about Ricky and how you thought he was close.
Yeah.
And that he got a lot of targets. I felt like he could have got more targets. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, to me, like he had a really good game, and it just kind of happened within the flow of the offense. Like they weren't. I didn't feel like they were featuring him. It didn't seem like they were feeding the ball to him, which is fine. I don't necessarily want them to do that, but I feel like it's kind of the same point that you're making, Chase, and just from a different angle. It's like, imagine if they had just prioritized him a little bit more. I agree with you. He could have had 150, 170 yard game. Because what did he have? Like 4 or 5 catches? Like it
4
wasn't...
catches, 8 targets, and a little bit over 100 yards, no touchdown.
Yeah. Imagine if he had 4 more targets, which, isn't that... And maybe that only equals 2 more receptions, but still, like, I just feel like there is more there. And if he's just got to keep it up, and they'll find him more.
Yeah. He was inches away from scoring that touchdown, and I believe it was the corner of the end zone. Literally was like fingertips had just gotten there. If the ball was there like a quarter second earlier, I think he scores that.
Oh, you're talking about the one that the DB knocked away?
Uh-huh. Just got fingertips on.
So, we made our last episode, we did season predictions. And usually we wait till the very end of the season to see how we did. I can already check off one that I got correct. Jake Moody did not make it through the season. In fact, he didn't make it to week 2.
Wow.
Which, even that surprises me. So, what was your guys' reaction to seeing the news that he got cut?
I was happy. I was it was like embarrassing being at the game and seeing those special teams blunders and seeing like Seahawk fans like getting excited over just like the dumbest, most avoidable stuff. So I think it like extra pissed me off, like being at the game and having to kind of like get trolled or whatever a little bit, like, oh, they blew another one, like everyone's like high-fiving each other.
Fans around the league now know, like, oh, the Niners kicker Jake Moody, he sucks, they can't rely on him.
Yeah. So I felt like I was waking up on Christmas morning. I was happy as a clam.
So I obviously did not expect them to get rid of him. I have no problem with them getting rid of him. In fact, I feel like it kind of shows some maturity or courage or whatever you want to call it, that you're not like so stubbornly going to stick with the guy because you drafted him and trying to get whatever out of him, because it feels like that's what they have been doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so finally reached the boiling point where they're like, we can't even do this anymore. I didn't realize somebody put this stat out there. He was 12 for his last 23 or something crazy like that. Like, that is crazy that it was that bad in terms of like kicks attempted in real games, not preseason stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I know he was hurt last year. We talked about it. We try to give him a little bit of a pass with that, or a little bit of grace, or whatever you want to call it with that. But 12 for 23 of your last 23 kicks, he made 12 of them. Like, that is sad as an NFL kicker. So yeah, it had to be done. Like, I think he has a lot of talent. He could still end up being a really good kicker for someone somewhere, but
Chicago Bears.
It's gonna time. He's gonna have to get his confidence back. So yeah, it was time to be done, and I'm glad they did it too, because it's just like you feel like you can see him questioning himself when he's going out there. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm projecting on him, but it just seemed
No, I
like
think you're right.
he didn't seem like he was a confident player anymore. And so it's like you lose that, you gotta go elsewhere.
Yeah. Kyle actually had a quote after the game about cutting Jake.
I want winners.
Um,
Yep.
yeah, I mean, I didn't expect it to happen that quick. You know, if he missed a 27-yarder, if he had missed a 52-yarder, I wonder if he would still be around. Obviously, the kick getting blocked, on his stat sheet after the game, it's going to say he went 1 for 3. I have a hard time blaming the block on Jake Moody.
For
In fact,
sure.
if I were to point the finger, I would pick out Austin Pleasance, the backup right tackle. He got smoked and just ran through, and the dude jumped right by him and blocked the kick. So, but I'm sure you guys saw the TV. I guess Chasen, maybe you didn't, but the reaction from Kyle on the sideline when Jake missed, he doinked that 27-yarder.
He was, yeah, yeah.
I
Oh,
did see that
he was
replay
about to
later.
lose his mind, and in that moment, he's like, "It's okay. It's the last time I'm ever gonna have to deal with this guy."
That's right then he had made up his mind.
I mean,
That's that's what it looks like.
like real raw reactions. Like, are you effing kidding me? It's
I
like,
know. Kyle's death stares are like infamous.
Yeah, yeah, like the gif I sent in the chat the other day when I said when someone suggests that Christian McCaffrey should come out of the game, he's just like,
what do you guys think of Brian Robinson? Did you think anything of him?
It was hard for me to see, but I thought he was solid. I think he messed up that one pass play. I think he was supposed to sit down in a zone or something, and he went to split out and it almost got picked on a pass from Purdy, but it's understandable because he's so new. I thought he looked solid, and I was honestly somewhat like happy with the amount that it was split. I don't know the numbers. I'm watching from up in the stands, so I just see, oh, Christian's coming out of the game. Like, that's a good thing. I hope they continue
McCaffrey
to
had
do that.
31 touches.
And how much did Brian have? Like 6?
9.
Oh,
It
okay.
did. It's funny because McCaffrey did end up having a crazy amount of touches, but it's during the game. I felt like they were doing a better job of giving him breaks than they've done in the past too. So maybe he had so many
It
touches
seemed
because they
like
had
it.
so many long drives and they had the ball so much that it makes it look worse than it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, 31 touches is a lot. it like it was a close game, so maybe they needed those 31 touches to pull it out. I agree with you, Chase, and I thought he looked good, not great. Like, I thought he looked solid. A comment that I made to Ryan at one point in the game though was he doesn't run like a Niner. Like he doesn't seek out last extra yard or inch, and maybe that's something that'll come with time, or maybe he's just smart and makes better business decisions. I don't know, but it felt like he gets the yards that are there to be had, and that's that. He's not trying to go for. Maybe that'll change. I don't know. Maybe it's not fair to judge him off of his 9 touches in one game, but that's how I felt. I didn't get the vibe that he's, a Kittle, a Jawan, a Debo in his prime, like fighting for every little inch that he could possibly get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw somewhere that McCaffrey's 31 touches was the most he's gotten in a game in like 2 or 3 years. It's like, dude, coming off a season where he was so injured, week 1, like, it's not like we're fighting for a wild card spot here in week 17. Like, can we? But I mean, at the same time, it's like your backup is new here. He just got here like, what, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
Right.
So I guess I got to rely on him. I thought Robinson was fine. He was a little underwhelming, but he didn't make any catastrophic mistakes. The pick that Purdy threw, the second one, the really bad one, where like you can't point to anyone except for Brock. Like, what are you doing? Interception. Robinson was wide open as like a check down, and he even had a blocker in front of him. Might have been Juice. It was like, dude, check the ball down to Brian there, and if he gets the ball there, he's probably got at least a 10 to 15 yard gain in front of him. So that might change how you viewed him if Brock had made that throw. But he obviously
I
didn't. But yeah, I mean,
I remember that play, Ryan. You're right. I mean, I
Me
was
too.
wondering why the heck are you throwing into quadruple coverage? But anyways,
That was a terrible, terrible throw. His
yeah,
worst
I mean,
throw.
unjustifiable. The biggest Brock Purdy fan and defender can't defend that one.
Mm-hmm.
It was Brock. Sometimes there are plenty of times throughout his career so far where it's like, man, the check down was there. Just take it. Take the 5 yards, take the 10 yards. And he's just like, no, I'm going to try to thread this window 35 yards down the field. It's like, dude, with the game on the line, it's like make that throw or lose the game. Fine. Go ahead and try to make it happen. But when it's like the middle of the third quarter, like, dude, you don't have to do that. It's a one-score game. Just keep the ball and let's keep the chains moving and let's keep it rolling along here.
he needs to watch.
Some of Brock's risk assessment is off.
He needs to watch a little bit of some Derek Carr film, is what you're saying.
Yeah, well, no, let's not go that far. I think he's been watching
Alex
too much
Smith.
Brett Favre film and maybe watch a little more Aaron Rodgers film. Like, be a little more conservative.
Yeah,
And Aaron Rodgers is very conservative but very efficient too. So I saw that Rodgers, by the way. Sorry, Chase.
No, you're good.
He's one touchdown away from moving into fourth all time by himself, passing Brett Favre actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for him. Yeah, Rodgers balled out. One thing that I thought was interesting, and a reporter actually asked Kyle this, or a player, I can't remember, and they kind of brushed it off, but I thought it was actually a really good point. Is like that type of game is a game they would have lost last year.
for sure.
And them being able to clutch that with a lot of mistakes and everything going on, like, that's awesome. I hope that's a trend for this season and is a sign of things to come, that they've got closers on offense and closers on defense and that they'll close games out. But they definitely would have lost that game last season.
Yeah,
Totally.
no question. And I would credit Salah's defense to being one big reason why they won this game this year and wouldn't have won it last year. And I would also give Kyle some credit too, because he continued to run the ball even when it wasn't working all that well. They only averaged less than 3.5 yards a carry, but they kept running the ball and they really controlled the clock. They won the time of possession by like 15 or 16 minutes. And that's a really big deal when you have a young defense. So, yeah, like Chasen mentioned earlier, it feels like the Niners outcoached the Seahawks, and that's why they won.
Yep. I feel like also it's on the road to do that. So yeah, lots of agree with everything you both just said, and that was part of the good feeling that I mentioned about the defense. You know, it never felt like they were just overwhelmed in any way.
All right, so we spent actually a lot of time on that Seahawks game. Let's talk about the Saints game coming up for a little bit. As we know, George Kittle's going on IR. He's going to be out for at least the next 4 weeks. I don't think Brock Purdy's going to IR, but he's going to miss at least this week, if not maybe one or two more after that. What are you guys expecting from the, Kyle wanted Mac Jones at third overall, if you believe, what some people say. And he's going to get his opportunity to coach Mac and call plays for Mac. And what do you think the offense is going to look like on Sunday against the Saints?
So this is my bold take. First of all, I want to say I actually think the Saints defense a little bit better than people give them credit for. I think they got a lot of big dudes up front, and it might be a little bit difficult to run the ball on them.
They got Brandon Staley too, don't forget.
I know, that's another X factor, and I think highly of Brandon Staley, a lot more highly than you guys think, and he's gone against Kyle a lot, so that could be troublesome. However, my hot take is Mac Jones is gonna ball. And this is another area where I know I have a difference in opinion on, because I think quite highly of Mac Jones. I'm saying like over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. He will throw a pick. There will be one pick, but I think he's going to play really good.
Wow.
Okay, so that was going to be my question. Is you say he's going to ball. What does balling out look like for Mac Jones? So you're saying 300 plus yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
Wow.
To
So,
who?
Ricky Pearsall, baby. Slick Rick.
Ricky Pearsall's going for like 225 and 2 touchdowns?
And Christian will have 50 receiving yards and a touchdown.
I thought I was like the opportunity.
Okay, well, you're still at 275. So who's catching the other 25 to 30 yards?
I don't know. He's gonna make some guys look better than they are.
Is Jawan playing this weekend?
I saw a tweet from David Lombardi earlier today that he's trending in the right direction to play, and I know Kendrick Bourne's going to play as well, and Jordan Watkins is going to be back.
Steven's frozen on my screen. Do you see that too?
Oh, he did freeze. Steven, you might want to, if you can hear us, you might want to leave and join back in. Oh, what the?
Whoa.
I got booted.
Whoa.
Now he froze again. We had two
Stevens
frozen
in the
Stevens.
chat. Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
He's still frozen though.
I just got dropped.
Yeah. No audio.
Oh, you can't hear me at
We
all?
see you move. We see you move now, but it's no audio.
Back out and come back in. I wonder if he can hear us.
I can.
It seems like it, yeah, because he's doing it.
Well, hopefully Steven figures that out. I like the idea of Mac. I want to see what Mac Jones can do in Kyle's offense. I do wish he had a little more. Like, I wish he had at least Kittle.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can get Jawan, but like, if Pearsall's his number one, Pearsall's a good player, but man, like he's a little short-handed.
Yeah.
It's just Ricky. Hopefully Jordan Watkins, we'll see what he can do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm rooting for Mac, but 300 yards and 3 tutties. Whew.
Yeah.
That's a start in fantasy. Shit.
I know. I think highly of Mac.
Prove that you're behind your prediction right now and put him in your starting lineup.
I'm riding Herbert. You know, I actually have Purdy. He's my backup quarterback, so I'm doubly bummed to see him injured. But I think Mac's gonna play really good. And I mean, the Saints have to have the worst quarterback in the league, right? Spencer Rattler.
I don't know. What about the team he's playing? He might be the worst right now.
Who, Mac Jones? How dare you? Mac Jones is he's gonna make Spencer Rattler look like a child.
Let me try to send Steven another invite here. You know, I was listening to today on the way home from work. I was listening to Robert Saleh yesterday.
Yeah,
and he was, so he was talking about Spencer Rattler, and he was, gassing him up like he's just going to be the next great thing at quarterback in the NFL. And he's like, don't be surprised if he's one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL by the end of the season.
What?
I was like, okay, Robert. Okay, dude. That reminds me of like Bill Belichick when he was with the Patriots. He used to, when they would play some garbage Dolphins team or something, he'd just be like, oh man, they're so good. They're so dangerous. They got the best special teams in the league. Yeah. And then they'd win like 30-7. It's like, all right, man. Clearly not that good.
Yeah, it's an interesting strategy. I heard Kyle gassing him up a lot too when asked. He's like, I see a really good team out there. I see a really good defense. I see a team that had every chance to win last week. They should be 1-0. I see a 1-0 team over there. And I'm like, okay.
He loves to say that. He loves to, when they're playing a team that lost, to say like, I thought they could have won last week. Maybe even should have won. He loves to say that.
Yeah.
And he better gas up their defense too. He had that coach over here. He better be saying they're tough to go against.
Yeah.
I just wonder, like, the only matchup that scares me is Cam Jordan. Because he's an older defensive lineman, but he's still really damn good.
Mm-hmm.
And if Trent is not the same, I do wonder too. Cam Jordan probably not so much because he's a vet. He's probably gone against Trent plenty of times in his career. But if the Niners were to play like the Packers, what's that douchebag's name from
Michael
Dallas?
Parsons.
Yeah.
Michael
Parsons has gotten wrecked by Trent over and over. There's going to be young defensive linemen who have gotten their butts whooped by Trent or haven't gone against him yet.
Yeah.
And they're going to start watching Trent tape and be like, I think he might be falling off. Now's the time to go against them. And I wonder if he's going to get targeted. Like, defensive linemen are going to look at him like, almost like it's time to eat this dude's lunch after he's been dominating us for the last 15 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. I would The Packers are the scariest team in the NFC, in my opinion, and especially with how I feel like they would match up against us with Parsons being such a freak of nature out on the edge. Whew. They're the team as of right now that look the scariest, in my opinion. Obviously, the Eagles could, they're pretty scary as well, but the Packers look really dang good.
They do. And Rashawn Gary, the other edge defender for Green Bay, he's really good. I think he's been pretty underrated for a while. He has kind of to me, he's got like a Khalil Mack type of player where he's like thick and huge and just stuffs the run, but can like break your quarterback in half too if he gets to him. Yeah, they look good. They just lost their wide receiver, Jaden Reed, though, broke his collarbone.
Oh, wow.
I have him in my dynasty league, and I watched him catch like a 25-yard touchdown pass. I was like, hell yeah. And he just got slammed to the ground on that play, just laid there like, almost looked like he got knocked out because he was not moving.
Yeah.
And then you could tell by the way he's moving, he's in a lot of pain. He broke his collarbone.
Bummer.
So you think the Packers are the best team in the NFC?
I do. Yeah. I mean, I guess technically we've seen them play twice now, and yeah.
They've got the best record, that's for sure, 2-0.
They sure do. Yeah, they look really good. I think it's kind of interesting this year. There's some teams that have been good that look vulnerable, like the Chiefs, the Lions, even the Eagles. I think there's some cracks in their armor. But yeah, the Packers, they definitely took a step forward this year.
I think so too. And you know who I think is going to be pretty sneaky good too is the Chargers.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Year 2 Harbaugh, if Herbert's going to be playing like he was last week, with all their young weapons they have around him and the defense cooking, they could be kind of nasty.
Yep. Agreed.
Are you back, Steven?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So it's crazy. I rejoined and I could see you guys and hear you guys, but you guys couldn't see or hear me. And
we could
just
see you, but we
ignoring
couldn't
you.
hear you.
No. There was another time where I came in and I didn't even see like myself, like the little And so I was listening to you for a minute. I was like, can you guys hear me? Hey, you getting over there? So anyways, I don't know what the heck happened, but
well, your connection was starting to get a little wonky. Like you were just kind of, even right now, you're a little choppy. You actually look okay now, but you were starting to get a little choppy, and then eventually it just like stopped.
Seth must be going ham on Roblox right now or something.
He's at the high school football game. He's not even home.
Wow. Look at him.
What? Wait. How old? He's not in high school yet.
He is. He's a freshman. Him and Maddie are both there.
Maddie's a sophomore?
Maddie's a sophomore. Seth's a freshman. Yeah. It's crazy.
Little brother sister bonding. You think they're hanging out together, or they get there and like
absolutely not. No,
go their separate ways.
No shot.
Yeah.
No shot, man. Those nights were so fun in high school, going to games. I mean, my freshman and sophomore year, I was playing football.
Yeah.
But after that, my junior, senior year, like just going to games, those were a lot of fun.
Hanging with all your friends. So what I was trying to say, because the last part that I was in for, like when I thought I was still participating, was Chasen's hot take about Mac Jones turning into 1999 Kurt Warner in this game. And,
yeah, exactly.
And I strangely agree with you, Chasen, except I don't agree with stats.
Okay.
But I think he's going to play really, really well. I don't know, Ryan, I don't need you to repeat yourself if you told Chasen you thought he was crazy or you agreed or whatever.
He's told me that Spencer Rattler might be better than Mac Jones, just to contextualize.
Okay. No, that's what Robert Saleh said.
So what I think, though, is that Mac is going to come in and play really well and just have like a efficient game, not sexy stats, but like, maybe throw a couple touchdown passes and just like complete a lot of balls and look good, and they're going to lean on their run game. I expect the Niners to play well, and I expect Mac to play well, but I mean, I'm thinking more like low 200s for passing yards. But it'll be a good game, like that the Niners control and win is what I think and what I expect to happen. And he should get a lot of credit for doing that if he plays the way that I think. I think it's going to be a Kyle game. I think he's going to scheme the team to a victory. And I think that, like I was thinking about it, Kyle has made other mediocre quarterbacks, even with the Niners, look good. Like Nick Mullins,
Nick
case in point,
Mullins, CJ Beathard.
especially early on, because there's not a lot of tape, right, of Mac Jones running the Niners offense. And when you were giving Chasen a hard time saying, who's he going to throw to, where the other yards coming from? His buddy Kendrick Bourne, that he's already got a connection with from their Patriot days.
KB.
So, anyways, I think it's going to be a lot of short to intermediate passes. I don't think we're going to see Mac air it out. Watch me, he'll prove me wrong, and maybe Chasen will be right. But I'm thinking it's going to be a lot of like 4 to 11-yard passes that we're going to see, and the run game, and they're just going to like slice and dice them. And I expect the Niners to win, and win like, not saying dominant, but win like a controlled win, or a comfortable win, if you want to call it that.
Let me ask you guys this. If I told you Mac Jones' stat line after the game is 18 completions, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, do the Niners win or lose that game?
I think win. That's what I'm expecting from him. I don't know that he's going to throw a pick, but that is exactly the type of game that I'm expecting from Mac, and I could see that. And then there's also 2 or 3 rushing touchdowns, or the defense, balls out and holds the Saints, to next to nothing. And like, he could have that stat line, and the final score could be 27-10 Niners or something like that.
What do you think, Chasen? Is that stat line good enough to win?
Will you repeat it one more time?
18 completions, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Yep. Niners win that because McCaffrey's going for over 100 and 2 touchdowns, and the defense is shutting down Spencer Rattler and forcing at least 2 turnovers.
Yeah, honestly, I think that stat line's good enough to win too. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a low-scoring game. I wouldn't be surprised if the over-under for this game is definitely under 40 points.
Can we make our predictions?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go first if that's all right. I'm going to say Niners are winning. Obviously. I'm going to go 31-13. Mm-hmm.
So, Steven, when you were gone, I told Chasen, put your money where your mouth is on your Mac Jones prediction and put him in your starting lineup in fantasy.
Oh.
So I did it on the spot. I did it. I actually dropped Justin Herbert. You can go pick him up if you want.
31-13, is that what you said?
Yep.
Man, is Brock Purdy out of a job if they do that?
No, I mean, people say
I'm
that.
kidding.
You know what I mean? Like, there's gonna, but I legitimately think, like, let's say Brock misses 2 weeks. Let's say 3 weeks. Let's say Brock misses 3 weeks and he comes back for the Rams game. I expect the Niners to win all those games and at least go 2-1 in those, like, based on the opposition and where their team is, and the fact that I feel like they still have enough other guys that can make plays. Yes, it sucks to lose George. I'd feel so much better if Kittle was out there. But I feel like we lose George almost every year. He rarely has a season where he stays in there the whole time, and they still overcome. I just think that Mac is going to come in and be efficient and do a good job and run Kyle's offense, and Kyle's going to love that. And they're going to not be sexy games. I don't know what I want my score to be. I'm going to say 24-10 for my final score. But I don't expect the Saints to be able to do much against the Niners. I
agree.
think Saleh is going to have them ready for whatever the Saints and Spencer Rattler throw at them.
Interesting. I'm going to pick the Niners to win. I think it's going to be a little lower scoring. I'll take the Niners 20-13. And this defense might be better than I thought it was coming into the year. I thought there was going to be a lot of growing pains with the young guys. And I could still be right about that, but I could also be wrong about the guys around them and the scheme overcome it better than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't even say his name, but Fred Warner was a man possessed on Sunday. He was everywhere. We don't really mention guys like Fred and Nick because it's just like, oh, they another Sunday came and went, and they were really freaking good at football again.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you expect it, right?
yeah, Fred got like kicked in the face and was spitting blood on the sideline and just ran back out on the field. So, yeah, I mean, I expect Fred and Nick and those guys to just, and Demo, to just do what they do, and we'll keep this Saints team, one touchdown max. And if Matt can just do enough to control the clock and score a couple of touchdowns, and we've got a reliable kicker who can go like, I don't know, 3 for 3, we should win this game.
Yeah, I saw like a meme that said, imagine if 2025 Kyle Shanahan could travel back in time and tell 2021 Kyle Shanahan, hey, it's week 2 and Mac Jones is your starter, like how happy he would be.
Like, okay, so I drafted my guy, and he's obviously really good.
Yep.
It's funny when things went south for Mac in New England, and he started to kind of the writing on the wall with that he was leaving, and then he did leave. I thought to myself, like, I'm not going to be surprised when this guy's a backup on the Niners at some point in the future. It could be in the next year or two, could be 5, 10 years from now. I don't know, but this guy's going to be a backup on the Niners for Kyle. And I also won't be surprised if when that time comes, he finds himself in the starting lineup because of an injury or whatever. And it's just like years later, it's here. Mac Jones is a starting quarterback for the 49ers with Kyle Shanahan scheming and calling the plays. I told Jason, I just wish he had at least Kittle because I am intrigued to see Mac. But I feel like it's going to be tough with just Ricky and a hobbled Jawan, a rookie and Watkins, no Kittle. Christian I would say, is at 85 or 90%. He's not quite all the way there. So,
No, I mean, yeah, I feel like I'm probably beating a dead horse, but I do not expect any sexy, fun video game numbers with Mac in there these next few games. I feel like it's going to be more similar to like the Harbaugh era when Alex Smith was the starting quarterback, where they're
mm-hmm.
finding out victories and having to control games and having to play smart. But I think they will. I think that that is their strength, that they have good coaching that's going to do that, and they have the players that are going to execute and not try to go crazy, on their own or whatever. Like they're going to play within the scheme. So that's what I'm expecting for these next few weeks. I want Brock to get back as soon as possible. I think that his ceiling is much higher than Mac Jones from what I've seen. And I think Brock is very underrated. I mean, I I feel like people that are like, oh, the Niners are going to be in trouble. I saw the line moved a bunch, right? Like the line moved 4 points or whatever.
Yeah.
4 points.
It went from like 7.5 to 3.5 or something with the
It was
Niners.
3 when I looked earlier today.
Whoa, that's a lot.
And it's like, so all these guys that have been out there saying forever that Brock is just a product of the system and everything. Like, remember how we just said on our last one that Vegas is smarter than everybody? Well,
Yeah.
obviously Vegas knows how important Brock is and how valuable he is. But it's like all these guys that have been saying forever that Brock is just a system quarterback. Well, they shouldn't be worried about the Niners then. They should be feeling just as confident. And I
Yeah.
I I I feel like you can't have it both ways. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I think that the Niners are still going to do well. I could be wrong. I'm just telling you what I think. I think they're a good team, and what I saw in Seattle in Week 1 reinforces kind of my optimism that I shared before the season. That they're just going to be a team kind of on a mission and take care of business.
And win the Super Bowl.
I sure hope so. I mean,
Yeah.
be like some Belichick Patriots teams where they weren't, just dominating team. And I'm not talking about like the '07 Patriots. I'm talking about some of the later ones that actually won the Super Bowl. And you're like, they don't seem like they're that good, and yet they just keep winning. Like that's what I'm hoping for, and what I think the Niners could do this year.
I will say what concerns me the most in this game and why I don't think they're going to score that many points is the sorry offensive line for the Niners against Cam Jordan and, I don't know, probably an average D line. We saw how much pressure they put on Brock. Brock was kind of running for his life. He hurt his toe running for his life. Mac does not move very well. But Mac does do a good job at throwing the ball quickly, so hopefully he can avoid sacks that way. And I don't expect the Niners to run all over the Saints either and just run for 180 yards as a team or anything like that because, again, the offensive line is not very good. So I expected defensive, special teams, punting, turnovers, just a grimy, low-scoring 20-13 game.
And I like the Niners' chances in that game. I feel like
it was better coaching.
Like I could see a defensive touchdown for the Niners. I could see them also setting the offense up with another short field. Like maybe the offense doesn't have to do a damn thing, but they're already in field goal range. Like I could see the defense being good for at least 10 points in this next game.
A Demo pick 6 would go a long way for his All-Pro status.
Yep. But we could be totally wrong, right? Like they could be.
We're in for another shootout.
Right. Right.
Jimmy versus Drew.
Wouldn't that be funny?
Yeah, Spencer and Mac just lighting each other's defenses up. 34-31 final.
So I feel like we should probably wrap up soon and everything. We went long on a lot of things, but a non-Niner thing, well, it's got a Niner connection. How funny is it that like Pete Carroll and Jim Harbaugh just keep finding their way to each other to be rivals?
It's hilarious, and I love it. And if there's any Raider Charger games on TV, I will be watching.
Well, that's this weekend, and Pete
is it Sunday night?
I don't know if it's Sunday night, but Pete had a pretty funny quote about like, yeah, I have a lot of memories of Jim, none of them fond, or something like that.
Yeah. I hope that game is on. Well, those will be West Coast because it doesn't matter if it's in Vegas or LA, so that'll be a West Coast start, a Pacific start time. So hopefully that'll be at least be an afternoon game after the Niners play in the morning. So I would like to watch that.
Yeah, I don't remember if it's one of the primetime games, if it's Sunday or Monday, or if it's just a regular Sunday afternoon game. But yeah, it's fun seeing those two guys go against each other.
Yeah, it's just too bad that Jim Harbaugh has kind of calmed down into a semi-normal person.
Yeah.
I showed Sam like a highlight reel of him on YouTube of him just losing his mind. The video was called like Top 10 Jim Harbaugh Sideline like Meltdowns or something. And I counted as we watched them, 7 of them were from 49ers. And the other 3 were like, I think Michigan or whatever. But yeah, I was like, we got peak Harbaugh, like psycho football, psycho Harbaugh.
Yeah.
We did.
Peak psycho years.
Yeah, it was great. All right, well, let's call it there. And yeah, we'll see what happens on Sunday.
Hopefully my technical difficulties don't screw up the upload.
Nah, it should be okay.
Fine.
All right.
All right.
Go. See you guys later.
See you later. Go Niners.